Guys, Matt here. We're going to look at a quick exercise today. This is taken from a larger course on the Total Drummer website for bass drum speed and endurance. But I wanted to break out this lesson for you so you could just get something to get. I know a lot of people talk about their bass drum. It's not fast enough. It feels sluggish. This is a really effective exercise that's going to help you get it. This is all about putting the work in consistently. You won't play this for 5 minutes and suddenly have, like lightning fast bass drums. It's about showing up every single day or several times a week and just putting in a few minutes each time. Do it at the beginning of your practice session, do it at the end, a couple of times in the middle. Do that several times a week and you're going to really start feeling the benefits from this. So let's start the lesson. Okay, so for the first part of this exercise, we're going to use 8th note triplets. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And we're going to create something that's sometimes thought of as a Bonham triplet. So we're basically going to play the hands on the first note of the triplet. So on 1, 2, 3, 4. And essentially what we're going to do is right hand on the floor tom, left hand on the hi-hat. And then we're going to play the bass drum for the trip and the let. So the bass goes 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So if you're paying attention, you might see on the sheet music there that on beat 3, we're not doing a floor tom, we're doing a snare. You don't have to do that. I like to make things a bit musical. So by playing the snare on beat 3, it turns it into a bit of a groove. It gives it a backbeat. So I'm going to go tom, tom, snare, tom, 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 snare, tom, shaka-da, digga-da, baka-da, digga-da, baba-da, digga-da, kaka-da-da. So it just gives it a bit of a groove. So that's it. Like I said, everyone's got their own speed. We're looking for the quality here. Nice even notes. Not even in power, even in speed. So let me show you it slowly. And at the end, don't do it yet. At the end, you're going to see where your speed limit is. But now let's just learn it slowly. Okay, in the second bar, we're going to play, it's basically the exact same exercise, but now instead of playing those two hands together, so when we played the floor tom and the hi-hat together in the first one, we're just going to split them now. So instead of going boom, we're going to go boom. And that's going to kind of make this, well, it is going to make this into 16th notes. So do you remember before we had 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet? Now we're going to go 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. So it's right, left, bass, bass, right, left, bass, bass, right, left, bass, bass. So it's tom, hi-hat, bass, bass. And again on beat 3, I'm going to bring my right hand onto the snare instead of the floor tom to give it that backbeat. Check it out. Okay, so now you've learned both bars. So we've got the triplets and the 16ths. So now what we're going to do is alternate. Now, triplets mean you're playing 3 equal notes in a beat. 16ths mean 4. So 4's bigger than 3. You know that. We're all maths legends here. So 4 means more notes within each beat. So that means you've got to play a bit faster. Now that's fine with the hands because they were playing right, left, 2 hands, right? But the bass is just one foot, using your right foot here. So the bass drum's got to work a bit harder. So whatever speed you felt you could do the triplets at, you might find the 16th notes, it needs to come down a little bit to accommodate that extra note in each beat. So the way you're going to count these now when you're alternating them is like this. I'll do it slow. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So there's that little speed shift there. Have a listen on the kit. Okay, so that's it. That's it. So it's not too complicated, but the point here is we're going to push it, see how fast you can play it and maintain it for 1 minute. So get your timer out. So what you might find is, especially when you're finding that speed at the beginning, you might start off like you're straight out of the blocks. You're like, oh, I've got this. I'm amazing. I feel good. I feel good. 5 seconds, feeling good. 10 seconds. Yeah, I've got this. Nailing it. 15, something's going wrong. Starting to wobble. By 20, you're burning. You're like, how is that? My timer must be broken. This has been a minute already. And if by half past you are properly struggling, you're just too fast, right? And that's part of that little process to find it. It's a fun bit, disappointing bit, because you're like, maybe I'm not as fast as I thought I was. But you've got to find that level, right? So what we want to do, we want to get to the end, 60 seconds, and we are going to feel it, because that means we're pushing it, but we're still maintaining it. It's still even power, it's still even speed, okay? So go through that process and figure it out. You need to be able to still be there at the end, playing it with the same quality you played it at the beginning. Imagine you're playing it on a record and it has to be perfect, or at a gig. Do you know? Try and have that quality. That's your speed. Find the fastest speed you can maintain at. That is your speed. But that's cool, right? Because then you go, right, it's 60 BPM, or it's 70 BPM, or it's 100 BPM, whatever. But now we've got a point. We've got it. We've got a clear point. So now we can say, right, by next week, I'm going to practice every day just for 5 minutes. And by next week, I want this to be 5 BPM more, or 2 BPM more, or 1 BPM more. But you've got something measurable that you can look to push up. And that gives you the motivation to practice every day. And this really is about putting the work in every day, consistently, and you will get those results. Alright guys, so that was it. As I say, that was taken from a much bigger course, which you can find on Total Drama. I'll put a link under this video, just in case you want to go deeper. And it does go deeper on this to really get that footwork in. But honestly, even just with this exercise, if you just do a few minutes, several times a week, you're going to feel massive benefits from this. I'd love to know how you get on with this. So if you use this and you start to feel some differences, put some notes in the comments. Let me know how you got on with it. Alright guys, so you've got a lot of work to do on your bass drum there. If you like this, hit subscribe, check out this other video, and I'm going to see you on the next one.